Hello and welcome back to Devon. Today's offering is all about comparing yields in second-early potatoes, most notably Charlotte variety, and how they grow in I don't know why I'm pointing, you can't see it, in a no-dig bed with compost at the top, a deep mulch area with just leaves, and then the Ruth Stout area that I harvested yesterday and I've already recorded because I knew there was rain coming and I wanted to try and beat the rain if I could, and I did. And I did get all this crop in before the rain. That would be the first watering it's had for ages because this has had no artificial watering whatsoever. Look at that harvest from the first two potatoes. Absolutely astonishing. I wasn't going to do individual weights, I was just going to do the average of the three, but I think I will weigh this one because I'm just absolutely flabbergasted. There is some damage. This one here has been tunnelled into. A little bit of green on that one. Gnawing damage on that one. But the rest are sound. Wow. Nice clean potatoes, really. A bit of green, yeah, well, that's the one I had before. Wow. That's impressive to start. Sadly, once we got into just the hay, the yields did drop off dramatically. Probably half of what it was in the seaweed area, but I'll give you those results later on in the video, right at the end of the video actually. Here I'm just going through, rummaging around, collecting as many tubers as I possibly can, recording the weights that go along, because I wanted to see how much of an impact the different treatments have had. So at this stage I'm cutting off the foliage because it's not needed, get it out of the way. And I just thought it was worthwhile showing you real time what it's like to harvest in the Ruth Stout, which is hay over soil. And it really is as easy as that, peeling back the hay to reveal the tubers underneath. A reasonable harvest, not magnificent, but there you go. There's very little source of feed in this. There's no fertilizers whatsoever. This is just from the background soil and the hay, which has probably added minimal amounts of nutrition to the actual harvest. So I'm working away on the left hand side now. I thought I'd have a change of scenery, see how this half is doing. Again, pretty good, nothing remarkable. And now for the last few plants in the centre of the plot. And then something quite remarkable happened. This particular tuber here has got an enormous abundance on it. Actually turned out to be 8.5 pounds from the one seed potato. It is in seaweed enhanced area and it has produced a good abundance of tubers and covered a large area. The bucket there is a bucket that people often grow in, 30-litre bucket. It wouldn't even fit it in there. So yeah, take from that what you will, but that is obviously a success. And the only fertility was the seaweed added to the background soil underneath the hay. I'm just harvesting all the tubers now, so you get an impression of how many there really are here. But that's a good crop from one tuber. It's a shame more didn't behave in that manner, but there you go. Right, so now we're into the no dig bed. Unfortunately, I put the wheelbarrow in a bit of a silly place because it's blocked a large bit of the view, but I also want to impress upon you how easy it is to harvest in beds that are just covered by compost alone. And this is the Deep Mulch area. Again, dead easy to harvest, really clean tubers, very minimal damage of anything. So the shallots are in, and the results are as follows. The no dig potatoes gave an average weight of 3.81 pounds. The deep mulch potatoes gave an average of 2.32, the lowest yield. The Ruth Stout with just hay gave an average of 2.62 pounds. The row at the end there was seaweed in the bottom, and the row at the end on this side with seaweed in the bottom gave an average of 4.6 pounds. But the clear winner was the two rows down here that had a little bit of rotten compost in and seaweed, and that gave an average of 5.18 pounds, nearly double the hay on its own. Very clean potatoes. It'll be very interesting to see how this Ruth Stout method pans out, but so far this is very interesting, especially when you consider these had zero watering, absolute zero watering. Now then, in the past I've been an advocate of growing in tubs, 30 litre tubs, but I've always been fed up with the watering. I know you can get an automatic watering system, but I don't have water up here to actually work out from. I realise that if you've got mains taps, that changes the game quite a lot, but I don't really want to be watering potatoes to such an extent. I found it very hit and miss as to the results. I found it very easy to get blight in the tubs because of you keeping them damp all the time, whereas the hay has lasted till July before it has got the blight. That's pretty good for me, but then again, it's been a very dry year, so let's not wave the flags of victory just yet, eh? And let's wait until the main harvest. When it's all a stodgy mess, you can come back and say, Mike, that was an abject failure. Let's wait and see what the full results bring. See you later, guys. Have a good week.